Yes, guys, what's going on? Welcome to AdamMcKola TV. We are back with United Daily Live. Hope you guys are all doing well. This is the place to come every single night at 10:30 p.m. UK time for your latest Manchester United news, headlines, transfer rumours and all that good stuff. And throughout today, we have had various briefs from various different British journalists on Manchester United's move for Jadon Sancho. And we will get all those updates here today in this show, so make sure you're keeping it locked for that. We're also looking at Van der Beek's first day at Carrington as well. He was obviously there in training today with his teammates, meeting up with his manager. Obviously not all the teammates, as some of them are on international duty, but you've seen his picture there with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Harry Maguire and everything, and he's met up with some of the teammates and he's started to get bedded in to the team with just over a week to go for Manchester United's start to the Premier League campaign. But will we have any more players in before the start of that Premier League campaign? There's plenty of rumours swirling around. Sergio Reguilon's obviously being linked, as always. Alex Tow's being linked with Manchester United as well. And of course, the priority transfer for the summer, Jadon Sancho, is still rumbling on. And although we have heard from Fabrizio Romano at the beginning of this saga that Manchester United had agreed terms with Jadon Sancho on a 5-year deal worth 250 grand a week, all they had to do now was agree this the transfer fee with Borussia Dortmund. Now, today, the British press have kind of reported that. Now, we'll look into why that could be important in the bigger picture of this transfer. Where could these briefings be coming from? And why are these guys reporting this at this moment in time? Especially if it's been done for what, like a month, 2 months already. And Fabrizio Romano is still consistent on that these terms have been sorted for at least 2 months. So we'll look at why we could be hearing these briefs today from the British press in regards to this, why they seemingly are so far behind Fabrizio Romano, and what the latest is on Jadon Sancho's move to Manchester United, as we hear United have made progress. Obviously, confirmed news yesterday, Dylan Levitt has gone out on loan, and the 23s today, without Dylan Levitt, absolutely piped Salford City 6-0. We played a first team who had the likes of James Wilson starting for them, former Manchester United player, and we played them. Hannibal Mejbri with a goal, couple of assists, a few goals. Like the goals got really shared around a lot. And United had a very good day today in terms of the under-23s, even without Dylan Levitt, who is obviously now a Charlton Athletic player for the next season. So we'll get stuck into all that news. But before we do that, as always on United Daily Live, we kick off the show with an On This Day. And it's the 9th of September today. And we've got two On This Day, so we'll read both of them out. The first one comes 9th of September 1995, which was a Saturday, so 25 years ago today. Ryan Giggs scores a wonder strike in a 3-2 win at Everton, which is shortlisted for a Goal of the Season award. His effort was superseded in the eyes of the judges by a thrilling effort from Georgie Kinkladze of Manchester City. Giggs has the consolation of being part of United's historic second league and FA Cup double that season. So the only thing City won was obviously Goal of the Season, as Giggs lifted the double. And what happened at the end of that season? Eric Cantona's goal in the FA Cup final at Wembley in the dying stages to lift that FA Cup. What a season that was. I have that season on VHS, the double season review video. It's a great video. I used to watch that so much as a kid. And the other On This Day comes from the 9th of September 1998, so 22 years ago today. It was a Wednesday, and Dwight Yorke scored his first Premier League goal for Manchester United following his £12.6 million move from Aston Villa. It comes on the stroke of half-time against Charlton Athletic, and he follows it up with the second in a 4-1 home victory. He goes on to top score in the league with 18 and 20 goals in successive seasons, as he helps the Reds claim 2 titles and develops a partnership with Andy Cole. He is dubbed the Smiling Assassin, as he always appears to be happy in his work as a goal scorer. That is Dwight Yorke on this day in '98, grabbing his first goals for Manchester United in a 4-1 win against Charlton Athletic, and obviously going on to win the treble in his first season. What a first season it was for Dwight Yorke, and we've obviously heard that story since then from Dwight Yorke, that when he was in At the end of that campaign, having won the treble in his first season, he went in to Sir Alex Ferguson's office and asked Sir Alex Ferguson for the year off because he felt like he couldn't do any more. Typical Dwight York story. We know he absolutely loved the party and he wanted a year off to celebrate after winning the treble. But we're not here to talk about old news and on this day stuff, as though I know lots of you guys like that on this day stuff. We are here to find out what the Jadon Sancho story is. Now, these reports come from various places, and Man United Zone and United Report have done a great job in compiling them all. But we've heard various reports from different British press members today. Simon Stone, Sam Pilger, Docker. All these people have been coming out with various updates on Jadon Sancho, which to me suggests there's been a brief from Manchester United. So Manchester United, or someone close to Manchester United, has briefed the British press in relation to this deal. And what we're hearing is the issue of agent fees and personal terms are no longer a problem for Jadon Sancho. Manchester United have made significant progress in their efforts to sign the player. In the last few days, there are still real obstacles to overcome, but it is beginning to look more promising. Fabrizio Romano followed up and said, he's had an agreement on personal terms with United for months. He would love to join United. It's up to United. 120 million euros or nothing. Then Rob Dawson came out and said United are prepared to offer a structured deal, including instalments and bonus payments that would have an overall value close to Dortmund's asking price. And while negotiations have been slow since the transfer window opened, there's now positivity on all sides that an agreement can be reached for Jadon Sancho. Docker chipped in. So Sancho's determination to push through a move before the close of the transfer window on October the 5th has helped to break the deadlock in negotiations and provided renewed hope of a deal. So this is what we're hearing from the British press pack at the moment in relation to this deal. Jadon Sancho to Manchester United. And we're hearing various things, but what the main theme is amongst this is that Manchester United have got over the hurdle, because only British press for the last 2 months has said agent fees and wages were an issue, and that's because they get their brief from England, from English sources that will be close to the club, or might even be Ed Woodward or someone like that, but they'll be getting their brief from the English side of things. Whereas Fabrizio Romano, he'll probably know a lawyer somewhere that's working on the deal, he'll probably know an agent, so therefore he gets a different insight. Now Manchester United wouldn't brief these guys that we're close to, we've agreed terms with the player, until they were confident that a fee could be agreed with the club. Whereas Fabrizio Romano is going to report what he knows and what is out there and what the agent is seeing, which is that terms have been done for 2 months. Like, they haven't been an issue. But the reason for this brief from United to the press seems to be because they are now more positive of getting this deal done in terms of the financial package to Borussia Dortmund. That's what this points to. Everyone's feeling more positive that there will be a break in the deadlock and United will get their man. We obviously also had the story about his bonus payments, which were triggered in the last England international game, and that meant that Jadon Sancho and his team, well, I say his family, got an extra 1.5 million euro bonus from Borussia Dortmund, which was in his contract. So with all these things kind of falling into place, it totally makes sense. But this is what we were hearing, the issue of agent fees and personal terms no longer a problem. That's coming from Manchester United now, not coming from the other sides of the deal. So yes, they're reporting old news or things that have been done months ago, like Fabrizio keeps reporting, these terms haven't been an issue, it's been done ages ago. Actually now, United are briefing this because they're more confident the deal's going to be getting done and that Jadon Sancho will be their man. And I think it's quite obvious, United are focused on getting this deal done. Even if it does drag on a little bit, I think it's just a matter of time before Jadon Sancho becomes a Manchester United player. And these reports today, they are positive, but I wouldn't get carried away and think, oh, that means a deal's going to be done tomorrow. Because we've been in this position for months. As we've said, Jadon Sancho's agreed terms, or, they had an agreement on the terms if he was to join United. The problem is Jadon Sancho hasn't really been seen to be pushing these negotiations. But thankfully we had that report from the Telegraph and from Ducker today saying that Jadon Sancho's determination is to push through a move before October the 5th. And that has helped break the deadlock. So it sounds like Jadon was probably starting to push for this move now, which again would fall into place with what we were hearing over the last couple of days in regards to those bonus payments. So it's starting to feel more positive about Jadon Sancho and this deal, you know, getting closer and speeding up. But you would expect that with the deadline being October the 5th, less than a month away from the deadline, you know, this bonus payments out of the way now. International football's over. The league starts on the weekend. United's league season starts in just, you know, when does it start? On the 19th? So in 10 days, exactly 10 days, United's league season starts. So you'd imagine we'd be starting to get closer to a deal now, because it has been dragging on for a long time. But more positive reports today, which is great to hear for Manchester United fans. And I'm expecting this one to get pushed over the line. And Sancho to be our player. But yeah, let us know what you guys are thinking about all those things discussed today in relation to Jadon Sancho. Whilst it is predominantly old news in regards to him and the personal terms not being a situation anymore, whilst it is old news, it's still positive in that it's now coming from the British press pack, and that means something. That means something. So let's wait and see what happens, but we could start to see developments sooner rather than later. I can't believe some of the things I'm seeing in here about Jadon Sancho. It's almost like you've never watched him. Taylor says, what a signing it would be. Caribbean Gaming's back in the house. Vincent Bullock's back in the house. We got Eric Mensah. Darcy Sweeney's here too. Loads of you guys are tuning in. Thank you very much for joining us today on AdamMcKola TV. Make sure you're hitting that like button, you're commenting, you're sharing, you're subscribing, and of course keeping it light. You can join as well if you want to become a member. On the day where we saw Donny van der Beek take to his first training session with Manchester United. Great to see him in the training gear, turning up at the Aon training complex and getting involved with his teammates. Obviously, you know, the signing's been done now for a while, but he left Amsterdam yesterday. He's headed to Manchester, and now he's getting integrated into the squad, which is great to see. We still need to do more business though. We still need to bring a few more players in. We haven't really heard much in terms of Sergio Reguilon today. I will have a little bit of a look out now, just to see what's going on in relation to that one. But we haven't heard much news in relation to that today. Sergio Reguilon obviously long been linked with a move to Manchester United. I say long, it's been the last week or two that we've been linked with a move for him. But Sergio Reguilon to Manchester United is being, you know, briefed and is being put out there, but no firm news on that yet and no further updates in regards to it. Obviously, what seems to be an issue for Manchester United is that Real Madrid want a buyback clause in the contract. Manchester United wouldn't be interested in doing any sort of deal that gives a buyback clause to the selling club. We don't want to be looking to give the player away in a month, in a season or 2 seasons if he starts to tear it up for Manchester United. So I can see why that would cause an issue and would delay any sort of deal. We have heard today that Tottenham are actually interested in him as well. Whether that is just being pushed out there in order to make, in order to make Manchester United speed up a deal for Sergio Reguilon. I'm not too sure, but that's what we've got at the minute on him, and that Spurs are interested. But let's wait and see what happens. But I can see why Manchester United wouldn't want that buyback clause in there. You wouldn't want to give Real Madrid the option of taking a player in that you've just got settled into the club. No way. And you know, if he doesn't play well, they're not going to want him anyway. So I don't think you should be doing that kind of business. And there's talk of 30 million euros being floated about as well. We just had a new article from Fabrizio Romano. It's not new, but it's pretty much the stuff that we've been discussing at the moment. Our last offer for Jadon Sancho. United have so far proved to be reluctant to meet the demands of 108 million. and are understood to have offered last month to pay an initial 90 million, a fee that would set a transfer record for an English player, plus a further 18 million, potentially during performance-related add-ons. Yeah, I don't think they're going to want performance-related add-ons in that deal, are they? But yeah, Sergio Reguilon, Jadon Sancho are the ones that are being hotly linked with a move to Manchester United at this moment in time. Now, there was also news today which came out at an awkward time, because we obviously heard yesterday that the UK could be going back into some sort of lockdown next week, and there'd be being bannings and social gatherings of more than 6 people from next Monday. So we heard that rumour yesterday, and then today Andy Mitten did an article in The Athletic which suggested that Manchester United could be set to trial the return of fans at the game on the 19th of September against Crystal Palace at Old Trafford. It would have been 12,000 fans at Old Trafford. Now, we haven't heard anything from Manchester United from season ticket holders' perspective, unless they have just contacted 12,000 people, and we weren't one of them. I'm not too sure, but you know, the club haven't contacted people, which is weird with it being a short amount of time away. But we heard that fans could be back in the ground, 12,000 of us, for that game against Spurs. Now, United, if they weren't going to get that Spurs game, the Palace game, were hoping to do the Spurs game a few weeks later. But now, with this potential lockdown or part 2 or whatever it's called coming in next Monday, we could see all of that being scrapped, and then we have to begin to wait again for obviously it to open up, and it probably won't even end up being this year anymore. So there was some positive news about a return for fans today, and then some negative news straight away. So kind of don't know when we'll be back in the ground, but there you go. Samuel's locked in from Nairobi, Kenya. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. Hope you're doing well. Dortmund don't want add-ons in the deal. They want 108 million and most up front. Yeah, Martel. They don't want add-ons. They seem to want, like, installments. I imagine, like, giving them, I don't know, 90 million plus a guaranteed 18 million over the next couple of transfer windows. They'll probably be happy with, but they're not going to take, if Jadon Sancho does this, then we'll pay this, and they're not going to look to do that, are they? Especially when you look at the kind of deals that have been done for Coutinho, Dembele, even Harry Maguire, Kai Havertz. You know, when you look at the kind of money that's been spent on those players, you'd have to say that Jadon Sancho is worth the transfer fee, if anybody is. Like, I know nobody's really worth that kind of money, but in this, like, even with a coronavirus market, if you wait for Jadon Sancho a season, next summer, it's going to be, the price is going to be absolutely ridiculous. So I don't see there being any sense in waiting around to next summer and hoping to get him a little bit cheaper. What happens if he has a better season? More teams are in for him. More teams want to sign him. It's going to be a big problem for Manchester United, because the price is only going to go one way, and that's up. At least now we know it's a fixed price at 108 million. And especially when you, like, you know, when we signed Paul Pogba for 89 million, and then, like, a couple of months later, it may even been the same transfer window, we've seen the Dembele fees and all that, Coutinho fees and things like that. Pogba looked like a bargain after a couple of transfer windows, and I think the same could possibly happen with Jadon Sancho. If you get him in now, even though it looks like a steep price, at 108 million, I think after a few transfer windows, when we see a few more players moving, it could start to look like a bargain, to be totally honest with you. But we're hearing positive things about it, which is good, because it must mean that a deal is getting closer. Let's see what else is out there about Manchester United at this moment in time, or is it all about Jadon Sancho? Obviously, Manchester United beat Salford City, our under-21s did. We beat Salford City 6-0 today, which was good in a cup game. I think it's the Johnston Paint Trophy or whatever they're calling it nowadays. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's had some quotes coming out as well. We'll get stuck into them. I think they were with BBC 5 Live. And he said, we're always looking to see if there is any way possible that we can improve the squad and bring players in that will have the right level, quality, personality, and fits all the criteria. This summer and year has been a strange one, and it's very important everyone understands this has an effect on football. Not everyone can spend millions and millions. I never set myself a target like scoring 20 goals as a player. You just have to go day by day, making sure you develop and improve. We have a vision of where we want to get to, but know so many things can come in the way. I believe in seeing how the team and club develops. We're developing a team a year or so into our rebuild. We had to make some decisions last summer, and throughout the season we have seen how this team is getting better and getting used to each other. I'd rather be optimistic and be wrong than be a pessimist and be right. I did think we would qualify the Champions League, but I was hoping for a trophy as well. Never easy to have too many new players in the team. It takes time for players to gel into a unit. We have seen some clubs go for the quick fix and some have trust in the process. We have to improve and get results, but adding players with different qualities than we have. And whilst he seems very relaxed there, I have no doubt, and it's been reported as well, that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will be stressing to Ed Woodward and Matt Judge and those involved in making transfers happen, that they get these deals done, because it's vitally important that Manchester United capitalise on the season that we've just had and the positive feeling that we've generated. We're not asking for 6, 7, 8 signings. We're not asking for ridiculous things. Man United should be able to buy Jadon Sancho and get the defender that we need, coronavirus or not. So we need to be doing that business, and I'm sure he's stressing that to them at this moment in time. So let's wait and see what happens, but plenty more to come. Today, McKola and Alison Uncensored went up on Full-Time Devils, or Stretford Paddock even. So make sure you go to check that out. I've also found out that I'm on the kickoff on the weekend as well today. So I'll be on the kickoff with Lars and Bry and whoever else is on. I'm guessing Hugh and Rory may even be on as well. But I'm on the kickoff on the weekend on Saturday's game. So make sure you're joining us for that as well. We've got loads more content coming up between now and then though. Me and Steve did a predict the table as well today for Paddock, which will be up on Friday. And we got loads more stuff coming. So make sure you're keeping it locked. Liking, commenting, sharing and subscribing, because I know loads of you lot that are watching right now. Yeah, you're not subscribed. Click that red subscribe button. Do me a favour. We're trying to hit 100k. And for now, this has been United Daily Live. We'll be back again tomorrow. And we've also got the weekly United tomorrow as well. So join us for that. Till then, I've been AdamMcKola. You lot have been legends. I'm out of here.